He wants to keep running. The side will put him down, but it only takes the Aegis, the Immortal, VP.
Naku, lakad mo to, tol!
Normally.
Select your hero. Make the ultimate choice.
Now players like Bryant as well as Yassi in that bottom lane to see if they can really come towards this mid lane and make something happen. But speaking of making things happen, Bryant, he's standing here, he's fighting. Who gets the first blood? That's the important one. And it looks like it's Hishka that gets the first blood. Wants to get rid of the bug, isn't there in time. And now it's going to be a second kill for Miko.
Can't really use them to start taking towers. He can't really use them to take over the space of Apex as long as Hung Hung defaults to following the Brute, kind of mirroring the Brute, you know? He moves, I move with you, yeah. You're gonna split up your spiders a bunch. Dat BB is something that's gonna be playing in Lilgun's mind the whole time, and it's just one of those things where you have to be very careful. Oh, Yassi in mid is just taking a million spiders.
So he will eventually die to the spiders, but this is where the question is, can Hung Hung take down 4-2-3? Looks like he cannot. He's going extremely well. It's just the fact that 4-2-3 is looking so strong right now. Oh, 11. It's probably not the scenario you want to be in, brother. He is a big bad spirit breaker and juking around everybody, but he isn't able to juke far enough away, and that means he's going to spend 30 seconds on the sideline and think about his actions.
Look at this movement right into him.
Oh, Hishka, he does get the dust there that goes out onto the Templar Assassin. The Orchid goes down, refractions are completely gone. A lot of damage that goes in. They're seeing if they can get the kill here on 4-2-3, and they do get the kills. So Dat BB getting himself a lot of net worth as well, and Hishka is just going to stand here and try and deal as much damage as he can back to the members of Apex, and unfortunately it's not going to be enough. There is Arena of Blood in the middle lane, and that means that Ace 12 will go. Right now, Apex, they are just sitting in a good spot. You know, 4K ahead. They're really feeling pretty good with how Hung Hung is going. But speak of the devil, fortunately, the man does get caught out by the Orchid, and 4-2-3 doesn't have to go anywhere near him. And it seems like Sam, in another one as well, the charge is gone through. They do get the Greater Bash that goes back in as well. Dat BB is the next target for Lilgun. He has to throw up the Orchid, but that means now that the Orchid will go down. It was the Yules that saved him for a little bit. And now they get another kill onto the TA. Miko's going to go down as well. The Swarm hits onto a whole boatload of things, but unfortunately for Bryant, it's not going to be enough for them. And
the SB. But we will make a trade for that, and then we'll turn that into an objective.
And you can just see now they are just trying to clear out their own jungle here. Bryant, though, he's been caught out. They do have the Orchid that goes in onto the Weaver, but thanks to the Sakuchi, he gets himself far enough away from the members of Lilgun. Ace 12 is just going to walk in. 11 does get the Nether Stripe that goes down there onto Miko, but they've just overstepped their bounds a little bit. 4-2-3 has just kind of left the boys be, and that means that Ace 12 will bite the dust, and the Aegis of the Immortal as well. And maybe this might be a time right now where we see these things start to slow down a little bit, though. The Ignite comes down. Hishka. Oh my god, Hishka, you can't be going too far. That is 70 seconds on the sideline. Without him, the Aegis of the Immortal gets reclaimed here as well. The charge goes in, but this is the go button for Lilgun. They don't have any more damage here to take down the Morphling. He goes into the Strength Morph, and we'll be able to just walk away from the rest of Apex here. And Miko, he's the one that's getting caught. He's the one that's in trouble. And now they're going to come into the backside with Hung Hung's second life from this Aegis of the Immortal. 4-2-3 though. He's still strong. He's still scary. He's so big here with the Bloodlust, and they come back in with the Morphling on top. The buyback comes in from the Mars on this as well. And Apex are looking to try and get something, but this is the disengage coming here from Lilgun. They're just going to try and walk away from the rest of Apex. They've caught somebody out here with the Yules, but he's stuck inside the webs. It doesn't matter. He can walk up ledges.
Covered by these Templar traps, so that's going to be even faster. Well, Kishka even going down in the jungle there does start a fight in mid.
Yeah, there's a bit of a go-ahead here onto Yassi, so he's going to bite the dust here, but there's a lot of damage that goes in there on the 4-2-3, and Sanctity's just going to stand and fight. He has a refraction built up here as well against Miko, so that means that he's going to be able to get himself another one, but on the backside, Hung Hung was the one that got the kill there on the 4-2-3. He has to try and run away from the rest of the members coming in, but he gets himself a third kill as well, and Sanctity is stuck between a little bit of an awkward scenario between Dat BB and Bryant, because it's ever so hard for him to get these kills onto them. Can they get away from him? They do. Having that means that he gets himself the extra spear coming in there onto Hung Hung. They haven't been able to find the kill there onto the Mars, but no, 4-2-3 is caught out. They had the Reaper Scythe. He doesn't get the HP back from the Insatiable Hunger. But it means that now that Sanctity is able to freely hit out onto absolutely anybody. Brian doesn't have the time to get into that time lapse, so this is going to turn and fight. Miko has his own BKB being popped, but Sanctity, he's turned into the Templar Assassin. That means he turns around and fights with this spear. Oh my god, the damage that comes in there from Mishka means that he gets himself the kill, and the rampage goes there to Sanctity.
He's going for the AoE Silken Bowler, which is actually super niche, you know. It chucks on some mischance. Really nice play by 11 there, starting the fight.
Hung got himself caught out there, had to use an early BKB, but that meant that his 11 was able to go.
For Apex to deal with while they're looking at the Spirit Breaker, the Rubik, the Brood, all these annoying heroes running around. You kind of have to leave Sanctity till the end, but even at the end, he's just so hard to kill, and he's just going to be more and more in your face now.
Super Zumi there, Mr. 11. They get the nullifier. Does just come out there on a DAT BB, and that means that he will just pay the price. Sanctity, he's just going to stand there and fight against the Templar Assassin. They have no reveal for the Truce, like the damage that goes in. They take down the Weaver, so Bryant will bite the dust. Miko's the next one. They cops the nullifier, and that means that he's going to cop another L into the graveyard.
Templar has got the ability to turn into that Spirit Breaker, but Apex is alive. They still have their ranks up. Looks like they might even be able to turn this on 11 mid. Yes, he's getting saved. He does have that BKB though, so he's probably going to walk away unless they give free kills to Sanctity.
Yeah, Sanctity has joined the fray right now. They're going to throw out the Mortimer's Kisses there onto the Morphlings, who's going to have to walk away because that slow is very hard to try and deal with. He turns around with his own BKB, the speed goes through. Doesn't really matter, albeit you have the DD rune. Mr. Hung wanted to see if he can get himself into the fray. The charge comes through once again, BKB or not, it does not matter. Give the man a triple kill.
4 kill participation to 14 kills in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and it looks like he's not going to slow down either. They want to try and get the kill here onto Miko, albeit it might be a delayed rampage. Fortunately, 423 is the one that snaked that one. So right now, they're setting their sights on the tier 4 towers. They're setting their sights on making this one official. GG has been called by Bryant, and that means Lilgun gets game number 1 here, Sam. Albeit it was a...
Night Stalker will enforce your will upon the battlefield today.
With the Shadow Demon and the Tide, and you try to go for kills onto the Lina and punish him in this early game. Kishka starts off going down.
Yeah, that's never the way that you want to start a Hop to Fire Blast, but there's not really much mana left here.
He's in range.
Goes down. Is he going to die? Oh, he does, yeah, with a Boundless
range.
Strike. That certainly had the range there. So 4-2-3 gets himself a kill. Here 11 is starting to walk forward. Miko, though, he's been caught out. Hishka is going to turn back around. They want to try and get the kill there on the Shadow Demon. Miko do get it done.
No.
They don't have the extra to really want to try and make sure that this Lina doesn't have a good start, but it looks like Yassi has walked directly into it, walked into a Laguna Blade as well. Hung comes in there for the big Sonic Wave, so they will get the kill. Unfortunately, the Lina's auto attacks just don't fly that fast through the air. And so they're going to get themselves another kill there for the Lina, and another kill for Hung as well. Hishka, unfortunately, is having a rough old start on a Lion.
Level 6, and suddenly Hung's made the rotation, so they're going to try to defend the tower even more.
11 is very, very tanky though on this bottom side. He has the Ogre Club that's been picked up. He has the wand being picked up as well. They want to see if they can get the rotation there onto Yassi, and Ace 12 just couldn't commit all too close for that. And if you're in control, you can start making different plays, and it really starts to affect the way that the other teams play as well. But speaking of, Hishka unfortunately gets himself caught. He does get 2 ults out of it. Oh no! Sanctity! He was just here. He's so fast, and the Thinkers being able to get down with the TP from the Boots of Travel, and they get another kill there on a Hung, and
find an initiation for him. Lilgun's just going to keep walking forward looking for something. We do have a TP bottom by Kishka. He misses Miko! Miko teleports on the low ground so he doesn't catch. He will find Yassi, but that's not the target he was hoping for.
Yeah, it seems like they're just giving him a little bit of extra space here, so they will eventually take down Yassi, so... Just trying to be a little bit careful about where they step. They don't want to get themselves stuck in an awkward scenario where everyone gets ravaged together, and maybe they get the turnaround. So now but now they're looking for something more towards the top side. He caught out too. Huge ravage. Catches out 2 of these members. The Stone Gaze goes on top as well. The BKB has to be popped here by 11. They still have the Aegis in the pocket of Sanctity. They're going to throw down the Wukong's command to be a little bit more tankier here for 4-2-3. They take down Yassi. Yassi takes down 4-2-3, so that's a big pickup for them here for the side of Apex. And 11 hasn't got anything done with his BKB. He's looking to try and take down some of these members, and he's taken down at least 1. He will fly over the cogs and into the tree line. So he's going to play the fast, speedy man. He wants to take down Dat BB because he knows he's going to go down. So he will take the Tidehunter with him. Sanctity going towards the top side, waiting for that 4-stuff to go through. Doesn't hit the Light Strike Array. So maybe just feeling a little bit iffy about that one. And Hishka in the middle lane, completely caught unawares. At this point, you're really starting to rely on the line for a lot of that lockdown. They're going to come in. Oh my god, the active done already goes through Dat BB. Losing so much of his life, and he will go down. Ace 12. That means that, you know, 5% of the time you get yourself an extra bit. Oh no, Sanctity, he kind of outplayed himself a little bit here. He's staring directly into the stone gaze. Sanctity, it's not how that spell works, brother, but he has lost his first life here, so they're going to come in, see if they can get themselves a kill. There was a Shiva's guard that got popped here on the backside, thanks to Hung Hung. Going to go in with the BKB here on a 4-2-3, so Yassi will bite the brunt of that. A little bit of an awkward taste in your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you lose the Aegis, you pop the MK ulti, but you got a bit of lane presence, map presence, and Queen's been
That's a huge ravage. It catches it out there onto the two big members of Lilgun, and now 11 is stuck on the high ground up against Hung Hung, who blows him away with the Sonic Wave, and now sending his tension onto 4-2-3. He's going to TP away. No, he's going to cancel that. Comes in with a Boundless Strike, helping Sanctity get that kill there, and he will just stand and man fight onto the Medusa, who's stuck on the higher ground here. Another stun that goes in. The auto attacks are just flying through here from Sanctity, and they're burning through the Medusa. The triple kill goes the way of the Lina. A little bit more, get themselves that next set of items. But not before we do see a hook in here from Yassi. He will just leave Hishka here inside of the cogs, and just going to use the Wukong's command here, meaning that the rest of Apex aren't able to just walk through the big old ring. And now we're going to have another team fight that goes through. Hung Hung takes down Hishka, but we're going to turn back around here with 11. Lilgun goes down. Hung Hung's getting low. He goes down, loses his life. No, the disruption's there in time. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do with the Dragon Slave, and now they're going to use the Stone Gaze to get away. Monkey King stuck in a very weird animation. I love to see that from Dota 2. Thank you so much. And Bryant will lose his life on the backside. Ravage comes in eventually, takes down 4-2-3. Where is Sanctity? That's the big question for me. What is he doing here on the backside? They've hit the eject button. Everybody here from Lilgun wants to say no more, and Sanctity will TP back to the base, leave Hishka to his own devices, who fought back in this last fight, ladies and gentlemen. So this line is going to be a sad, sad little boy. Wave just yet, but the backdoor protection did get cleaned up just in time there, so we're going to try and get this here through tower. The Ravage comes in, big Hex, but it was a little bit too late there. It means that both the cores get caught out, especially with the Soul Catcher. They're stunned for so long, and Miko gets the double kill. He's going to make it a triple as well, and this is why it is so hard to push into a Tidehunter, albeit without Hung Hung. Okay, though, Miko completely separated from his team, but he's gone under the guise of the Silver Edge. They found him out though, getting stunned up here, getting stuck inside the Wukong's command. The disruption comes in, being able to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Is this enough to get him away from it? He's burned through so lot of his mana, but this Access is doing a lot of work to get back into it. The Ravage is there. It's on the 4 members for the side of Lilgun, and everybody's coming. Hung Hung's here as well, but they lose Miko all too fast before Hung Hung gets in here in time, and he will be able to take down Hishka with him. Do they have anything to stop this TP? No.
A little bit scary though, because they are missing Miko.
Yeah, the Stormcrafter did get something a little bit out there. 4-2-3. BKB's a little bit too early here. The Ravage goes on the backside, only catches that onto the Ogre, so it's not really the fight that we want. So we're going to set our attentions over towards what Hung is doing here with Sanctity. Does take down Hishka, but now the fight is turning back into the favor of the side of Lilgun. He gets stunned up, does Sanctity, so they will take down the Clockwork on the backside of this as well. Looking and hunting for Hung Hung here. They're going to turn back around, is 11. They get the stun, they get the swords. How much damage do they have? Hung Hung, that is not the fight you want to take, my son. In the grave for a little bit longer here. Now, they're going to go into the backside, in onto the Shadow Demon here as well, so he's going to lose his life early on in this fight, so there's going to be no saving for Bryant in this team fight, and now 11 almost goes down, but the Sonic Wave was there in time, so Hung Hung picks that one up. They've got one last couple of fights left in them here, but it seems like Lilgun have done enough to be able to pull this game into a winning scenario. Miko doesn't seem like that much of a terror for them. They've got a bit of a flank going on here from Dat BB. He has one Ravage in his back pocket. What does he want to do? How does he want to get into this Miko? He's getting caught out. In comes the Ravage, but can they do anything else for it? No! There's the Hex that comes in. Miko's not been able to do anything with these stunts, and in comes the triple mana trade. Nobody's going to have any mana left in this team fight. 4-2-3 standing and fighting. Hung is dead for 2 minutes. It's an Aegis that is all that they get onto Sanctity. They take down Miko. He's got no buyback either. The last one to go down is Dat BB. And he's the lone survivor coming in from Apex, but it's going to be all he is. Unfortunately, he won't be a victor this time around. The hookshot goes all the way towards the creep wave, and Yassi's going to go on a little bit of a train ride. to try and get away from Sanctity. But it's just not going to be enough, and they will be able to take down all the members of Apex. The GGs have been called, the fountain diving has begun. And that means that we're going to have a 2-0 to start.
Right.